Welcome back to Family Politics, a show where I talk to my extensive and extended family about matters which affect them personally. My name is Ian Rex Hawkes, and I'm going to be standing in the next general election as a Liberal Democrat candidate. Although this isn't a show about me, I'm hoping to use these discussions to shape my own views as parliamentary candidate and make me a better parliamentarian for the whole of the UK as well as my local constituency. For this episode, I have as a guest Luca, a business coach who lives near me and goes to the same public speaking club. Luca wanted to talk about something we often all overlook, namely how to look after our own mental well-being during times of crisis, including the current cost of living crisis that we are currently experiencing. So Luca, before we get started properly, this is supposed to be a show where I talk with family. Can you remind me, how are we related?
Oh yeah, we actually we are not related.
Well, okay, that was easy. Great. That's been the episode for today. Yeah. Regardless, I think we've known each other now for long enough that we can at least pretend that you're kind of family. You've imparted some wisdom on me, and hopefully you've picked up a few tidbits from me, maybe what not to do. But it's been a good working relationship, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we met at our club, public speaking, and it is still an amazing experience. And yeah, we just met there and we became friends.
Yep, I agree, and I loved it. And it's continuing to make me better at what I do, which is always, I think, the goal. So, Luca,
yes,
you wanted to talk today about well-being. How would you like to start? What would you like to say?
Yeah, I have been passionate in well-being, mental health as well, for years, supporting people, our health and stress management as well. It's very important, and now in this period, more than enough. Why? Because we are surrounded from a lot of stimulations, etc., and overstimulation every day, every moment. We all struggle stay focused on what we do with the right concentration. I can say concentration as well, focus and productivity, efficiency. And so a lot of stuff going on around this topic. And now from, 1 year or 2 years ago, we have heard about cost of living, and a lot of people struggle with actually the objectively the cost of living, but mainly about the mental health, worrying about every day, a lot of worries, etc. How to do this, how to do that. And so sometimes it's mostly about the mental health and the worrying, overreaction, overthinking that the object itself.
So, what would you say people need to do to improve their mental well-being if they're facing some sort of crisis, some sort of problem of worrying about whether they're going to afford the next weekly shop, for example?
Yes. So first of all, I volunteer as a local champion, community champion in Ealing Council, by Ealing Council. Now it has been for a few months, and it's a very good project. So I'm like an intermediate, and I can share with people lots of information which come from our council. So on the website, information of support that the council offer to the community. We are a few community champions sharing the support and the help around our community. And so this is very helpful. So people can find information and support, and a lot of people don't know that. And also, you can find information on the council website and support at the local community centers, local charities. So it's important to find out for help, sharing with people. And as you know, the main topic is when someone says, I'm alone, we are alone. But the thing is, most of the time, it's just about a feeling. So there is a big difference about feeling alone and being alone. So the feeling is something that you can change, and you can find that there are a lot of people outside that can help you. So this is the main thing. So speak with people, look out at your community center, charities, council, and look out for help.
Yeah. And presumably things like sort of churches as well are quite good. I mean, I'm not religious in any way, but I gather a lot of them have quite a lot. So, you know, churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, all that sort of stuff will have groups that are looking to do good and looking to help. And I guess part of this conversation should be, how do people get rid of, there is this stigma of asking for help. No one likes to be seen as the person that has to ask for help, or you know, is at a point where they feel like they have to ask for help. What would you say to someone who is a little bit worried about the prospect of asking for help?
Yeah, sure. It's a very good point. We have to understand that it's fine asking for help. It's absolutely fine. So if you are not used to do it, if you are stuck, you don't want to ask or sharing for help, information, etc. Fine. Just look at the fact that now it's like there is a big challenge, and when there is a big challenge, you have to ask for help. If you think about any kind of people that reach high level of goal, like in politics, in athletes, success in business, any kind of success, all those kind of people, they asked for help before. They have a coach, they have a mentor, they have someone to relate it to. So it's absolutely fine asking for help.
There's a very famous quote in science in particular, and I think it's attributed to Isaac Newton. And when he was praised for his absolute genius at formulating, the laws of gravity and the principles of calculus and all that sort of stuff, what he said was, "If I have seen further, it's by standing on the shoulders of giants." And that part of it, standing on the shoulders of giants, has been so important that it appears on one of our coins. I think it might have been the £2 coin, I'm not sure, but it's such an important phrase in that context. And I think you're absolutely right. actually it's something that we should be importing from that field to the idea of well-being. No one is an island. No one stands alone. Everyone not only has people to fall back on, but shouldn't even need to fall back on people. The help should just be there.
Absolutely. I like so much your I was picturing the image of the giant. So we have to find our giant.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do. And that's the thing is, for some of us it's going to be our friends. For some of us it's going to be our family, and for a very, very poor few, and I really struggle with my words there, because it's not something that I think they should be looked down on for, but there are people out there, and we can probably all think of them, who genuinely do have no one in terms of family or friends that they can call on anymore. And I mean, I guess one question to you is there anything that sort of person can and should do differently to everyone else? And then we can generalize it and talk about actually what should be available for that sort of person. So let's go first things first. What can that person, or what should that person be doing differently to someone who does have that support network in place?
Yeah, anyone can find his or their family just outside, maybe in the neighborhood, maybe at the local market, maybe your friend is the barman, the barista, or you can find help and support all around. And there are a lot of amazing people supporting charities or the community centers. And if you are just open to other kind of a friendship or relationships, you can find beautiful people just outside, just 5 minutes walking in your local neighborhood.
So what you're basically saying is everyone should get on Tinder.
Yes. Right.
So I said that we would talk a little bit more generally. What sort of things should be in place? Because this is predominantly it's a politics show, so it is really good to talk about the mindset and how to cope with negativity and all that sort of stuff. But what should actually be in place from a societal perspective? What do you think politicians should be doing to address this?
Right. I think supporting in a probably main kind of ways the local district or council or local communities, community centers, charities as well. So any kind of center where people can find support outside, because there are already a lot of information on internet, but it's too much. We are overwhelmed by internet and research and Googling, etc. So we need in-person meetings, humanity, socializing. So any kind of situation that can help bringing people together again.
Yeah, great. So following that up, that was talking about sort of the if I can coin a phrase, the sticking plaster over the leak in the dam. That was talking effectively about dealing with some of the issues that arise from the crises that we face. You mentioned right at the start, or in fact, I think both of us mentioned right at the start, the cost of living crisis. Would you say that actually one of the things that a government should be doing is basically stopping that crisis from happening at all? Would that be a better situation than trying to address the problems that are then caused by the crisis?
Or so you are asking me about what the government should do?
Well, sort of. I'm not out to say what they should do in terms of like a specific economic policy or anything along those lines. But I guess the question that I'm posing is, do you think the government should do something to mitigate this problem, or should they effectively accept that market forces are what they are, and costs are going to go up and people are just going to have to deal with it?
Absolutely, trying any kind of a solution to mitigate this kind of problem that actually I don't have any idea, but absolutely trying to mitigate it.
I wouldn't expect someone to know exactly what to do. I just think that it is, from my perspective, it's really important that you want to do something, and that to me is much more important than actually the how. The fact is that you talked before. In fact, we both talked before about this idea of standing on the shoulders of giants, and that applies in formulating political policy as well. So I certainly don't know everything about economics, not by a very long way. But if I ever get into a position where I've got some sort of semblance of power, you can absolutely guarantee I will be getting some economic giants to help me come up with something that works properly. And I think that's a crucial thing for a leader to be trying to do, is to admit that they don't know everything. And I think that's sorely lacking in the leadership that we've got at the moment. I think that the government is very, very unwilling to admit that it ever makes mistakes and doesn't know what's going on. And frankly, it's abundantly clear that they don't know what's going on. They have made a lot of mistakes, and if they don't acknowledge those mistakes and own up to them, they can never improve, because we learn from our mistakes, but only when we actually do something about them.
Yes, absolutely. I agree in total. We have to learn from our mistakes, and so finding solutions and try again, and to improve our work, our results, our journey. Yeah, absolutely agree.
Fantastic. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about in terms of sort of well-being or anything along those lines? Or
yeah, I can give some tips.
Yeah, please.
Yes. So, as we were saying, a lot of people is overthinking, overreacting during the day. They can't stay focused. In that case, you can't find your best solution or solutions. So, what is important? Usually, I say, don't watch TV news, or at least don't too much.
Yeah.
Try to avoid.
Log out of Twitter. Yeah.
So to avoid at least crime news. So TV news, yeah, it's important. We have to know the world that we are in, but there are a lot of bad news that are not good for our health, our mind, our well-being in general.
Mm.
So it's important that if we don't have even enough energy to deal with our daily challenges, tasks, or problems, we have to keep our energy for us, for our family, our dears, our friends. So lots of people, for example, they worry about international problems, etc., politics, but they trouble with their family. So what is important? Stay with yourself, stay with your family, with your energy, with your health. Don't worry about stuff that you can't deal just just by yourself. It's important to save what you have. Save your time, your energy, your humor, and your health for yourself, because it's a challenging time. And with the when the challenge become more and more intensive, we are in a period like we have to train ourselves like an athlete before taking part of a marathon. So it's just like a marathon. We need a strategy, we need training, we need stay being healthy, eat well. Uh, so watch, if you watch TV, watch something good for your humor, your mood. Stay in nature as much as you can. Go to the park, go to the gardens, go in the hood, but just every day at least a few minutes. The nature, it's impressive how can helps you to recover your energy, your mind, to refresh your mood. So nature, meditation, being with good people, people that give you good energy. What else? Don't drink too much coffee and too much tea, because caffeine don't helps your overreaction and mind overthink is not so good. So just less coffee is better. And so change your habits a bit, healthy habits, and stay focused.
So it sounds like within that there's a real sort of emphasis on the physical health and the mental health, and saying that actually they're interlinked. It's not a question of only dealing with one of them. You have to address both. You have to address the whole individual.
Absolutely. Yes, fine. So it's like a balance.
Yeah, yeah, and a very important one. And I think that's a really good. It's almost a really good conclusion for what we've been talking about. That actually, the mental is sometimes overlooked. We we see all these adverts and all of these sort of strategies for making yourself better physically, but we don't often see similar sorts of things for the mental. And actually, I think that's what's quite important to at least talk about. And I think this is a great way to do it, to have someone who knows what they're talking about just come on and be as frank as possible and just discuss the subject.
Yes, right. Yes.
Okay, well, that feels like a pretty natural closing point. Yeah, I definitely felt like I learned a lot from our chat, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to make some sort of small but positive changes in my life to help keeping me both happy and safe. And I'm glad that I've got someone like Luca in my life that I can call upon for expertise like this. My usual thanks. My usual thanks at the end. I'd like to thank my dad for letting me use the music for the theme tune, and my literal brother from another mother, James, who has decided to help out with the videography for this show and has been producing. So thank you, James. Thanks to everyone who's advised me in getting the show launched, and thank you if you just watched it, especially those of you who hit like and subscribe for future episodes, and I will try my best not to make the gap between them 4 months each time. This has been Family Politics. I've been Ian Rex Hawks, and until next time, bye for now.